goodness. Love the word for that we've been on. We're going to talk about that. But of course, we always want to start with our oming. Remember, like when we talk about when you read a book, especially about spirituality or how to improve yourself in some manner, we kind of start to feel like we have to do it by abiding by the rules. Maybe it's about self-awareness. Maybe it's about how to cook carrots. I don't know. And I'm not saying throw the rules out, but what I'm saying is absorb them and become them through your actions. So I'm saying that to you so that we remember that we get too caught up in how big should the breath be in an om? How loud should the om be? How this, how that, how everything. And it's good information, don't get me wrong, but then we have to let it go. We have to absorb it and become it. And it'll be a little different with each of us because some of us can breathe more deeply than others. Some of us have better voices than others. So I'm saying this to you so that you never feel, awkward in any way with oming. Let it just come out and do it with your heart because we need that energy in the world where there's more confidence in coming from our heart. So, that being said, let's join together and do 3 ohms. Om. 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 And always remember to sit with it for just a moment. Sit with it so that you can feel it still vibrating off of you. It does. It vibrates off of you. It's still vibrating with each of us right now. And it's good to sit with it. And so I say this to you so that you remember, like, if you're feeling really, really tense or something's going on around you and you just feel like I just can't sit and meditate and I just can't do this and I just can't do this right now and I'm just feeling like this. Okay. Anybody not felt that way? Oh, Darren, no hands. But what you can do, and you won't want to when you're feeling like that. I don't know why we don't want to just go, yeah, let me help myself. But we don't. We're not at that point. But you can own, and you can own really quietly. And feel it move through you. It might make you want to do another set of ohms that's a bit bigger. And it'll feel really good. It really does move through us. We forget that every single word that we say has a vibration. Every single thought that we have has a vibration. So we can't say anything that we haven't thought about first. You hear me say this a lot, but I think it bears repeating. It's one of those things that it's very difficult to remember throughout the day that the next thing that comes out of your mouth is going to have a vibration. And you can't catch it and stuff it back in because it's already found its way from the mind and it's moving through the mouth and oh my goodness. Now it's out in the world and if it's something you really kind of had second thoughts about, you can't stop it. It's like an arrow in flight. It's already left your bow. So it's on its way and it will hit a target. It's true. And then what happens? Because the way that the energy works in the universe is whatever goes out returns back. Remember that our universe, if we even think of just the physical universe, it started out really small, like a thumbnail. What? So everything in the universe has the same law applied to it. So we were all a seed. Plants are all seeds. Animals were all seeds. The earth was a seed. The universe is a seed. Everything starts out as a seed. So that means inside of the seed, there's already something there from before. Kind of implies there that our universe lived before, which means that it lived. First, it was born, so to speak, and then we had the Big Bang, boom, Om, and then it grows and it's still growing, it's still expanding, it's still expanding, it's still expanding. And then it's going to get to a point where it starts to come back on itself. And it'll return back into that little tiny seed. And it'll do it again. Maybe it's done this for billions of trillions of times. We don't know. Maybe it's only done it for 5 times. Who knows? Does it matter? No, it's just too big of a thought to consider anyway. Why argue about it? We can all consider it and feel it in our own way. But I say that so that we remember that everything comes from sound. Whether we call it Big Bang, we call it Om, whatever it is that we want to say, everything that's around us comes from sound, from vibration. Vibration changes us. So when we grow inside, we start to have more self-control. We become more mindful of ourselves. And we start to have more self-control. Like we can stop a bad thought from running out of our mouth. Whoa, that's really doing something. Because you're feeling the vibration and you're feeling it actually move. And then we learn to have self-control, because as we learn to control our breathing, we change our vibration. Self-control with our breath, remember, can change our thoughts, our words, and our actions. If I'm really feeling upset and somebody comes into my room right now and really upsets me with what they're saying, and I feel myself starting to change and I can feel the vibrations. The vibrations are my thoughts, my sounds that are vibrating because of what somebody else has said. And I'm vibrating with them. They're vibrating, I'm vibrating. How do we change that? Well, we can breathe and go, but can we? Not without practice. So yes, of course we can. But can you sit down and play a Mozart concerto the first time you sit at the piano? More than likely, the answer is no. It takes practice. Practice. Everything that happens with us takes practice. It's important for us to be thoughtful, mindful of our own sounds that we make. If you're sitting at home by yourself and you're thinking, consider, what is that making your body feel like? Maybe you're thinking about, again, what happened yesterday. Maybe you're thinking about what's happening in the world. Whatever it may be, there's disharmony, but it's a sound. It creates waves, waves. And those waves move and they enter into your home. They move out into the world. They touch other people. We don't consider this. So when we have waves, giant waves as individuals of anger, anger is very, very contagious, really contagious, easily contagious, because it makes us feel powerful in the moment. And that powerfulness can be hard to resist unless we have been working on the vibration of the word, perhaps empowerment, equanimity. When's the last time you sat and thought, I'm going to sit here for 5 minutes and consider the word equanimity? I mean, really, we don't use the word in a practical way. So of course we don't think about sitting and going, let me ponder on the nature of equanimity. And as I do so, I'm going to make my breath equanimous with my thoughts. Yes, yes, I know. You probably did it yesterday, right? So I say that with humor because it's important for us to be lighthearted about our journey, for us to never have any shame or guilt or blaming or judgment or anything like that. It's important to be lighthearted and go, oh, that is kind of an interesting concept. Yeah, maybe I should look the word up, see what other people think about it, you know, Google and see if Vivekananda, what he says about it, or whatever it may be. And let yourself like have a while with feeling vibration. Because we've been talking about friendship. Friendship is a vibration. It's a vibration of understanding. Yes, it's a vibration of love, but it's a vibration of understanding. And the first friend that we really need to have is friendship with ourselves. Because if we speak in a really vile way to ourselves about ourselves, of course, we're going to feel like we need to feel that way inside about others too. So our friendships can't go as deep as they actually could when we are this way. So making friends with ourselves is like committing to a practice of self-control. Most people don't like the word self-control. They would prefer that I use mindfulness. And I do use the word mindfulness most of the time. But today I thought, let's use these two words that are like, unpleasant, self-control. What do you mean? You think I'm out of control? Well, of course. Of course. We don't have perfect peace, so of course we're out of control. Means that we can work on it, means that we need practice. Of course we're out of control. Otherwise, we wouldn't practice spirituality. There would be no need. Not at all. So I say this so that there's no feeling of bad thoughts about self-control, like there's some sort of something behind it that you're being judged or I'm being judged. Not at all. To be mindful is to help ourselves to be aware of vibration, the vibration of our thoughts, how they're moving through us, how they're touching another person. And this is in every circumstance that you'll ever have. Everything is made up of vibration. If a person cannot hear at all, vibration is still everything. It means the apparatus to actually perceive it in that way, hearing it, may not be present, but the vibration is still there affecting that person. Why wouldn't it? Does it mean that that person's unaffected by sound? No, the whole universe is affected by sound. So we have these individual sounds, and then we have collective sounds. We have the sounds of nature. And we know now things are changing in nature. The sounds of water and fire and air and birds, elephants, wolves. There's sounds everywhere, and they all are part of the earth. All vibrations, the way that they are, affect one another. If a forest is in trouble, the sound of the forest will change because the birds will change, the animals will change. There'll be more or less. Every flutter of a butterfly's wings has a vibration. If they go away, the sound, that vibration goes away. It creates an emptiness, a vacuum. Everything is about balance, like music. We love music. Music moves us. It makes us feel like this sometimes. No, I don't like that song. Because it's moving us, you see, in some way or another. So we turn it off or we turn it on. But a forest is different. There's a sound that the forest makes when it has perfect balance and everything's in harmony. Then there's a sound in the forest when it's out of balance. And we as humans, because most of us don't live in the forest, we might just visit a forest, we don't ponder on that. And we don't know that that song of the forest is very important to us. Whether it's the Amazon or the redwood forest, whatever it may be, every tree makes a sound, whether you hear it or not, because it's alive and it moves. And every time it moves, it creates a sound. In a bamboo forest, it creaks. You can hear bamboo moving, and it makes a creaking sound, almost a haunting sound. I'm from Colorado, so an aspen forest makes a sound that's very unique to those little leaves on the aspen trees. They're not there. Not only do we not see them, we don't get to hear them. Their vibration isn't with us any longer. It's important for us to consider sound. How do we think? How do we feel? Human beings are quite noisy, and we've sort of taken over the music of the planet. It's more like boom, boom, boom. We're a city, folks. Birds, wolves. And they're like, yeah, we know. We heard you from 50,000 miles away. Oh my God, we're so loud. We overtake the forest. We overtake the jungles. It's even so loud underwater that the mammals and the fish underwater are having problems because of the sounds that we make. The air is filled with our sounds. The ground permeates with our sounds. Our drills are this, are all of these things. Everything is making sounds and everything's disrupting and upsetting the entire planet. The sounds of all of us grouping together and shouting such angry, hateful things to one another changes the sounds of our cities. And we can't find ourselves practicing quiet, practicing meditation, just 10 minutes being quiet. 10 minutes of genuinely practicing being quiet helps you to see how noisy you are inside. If we don't become aware of how noisy we are inside, we can't change that. And there are people who walk around very proud of being angry. Because anger has this effect on us where it can make us feel proud. I'm powerful. And it's a vibration, it's a sound. And it makes us move away from people when they do that. An army, when it marches, boom, 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 creates a sound. And it affects everybody in the vicinity. Bombs make sounds. And they don't stop making that sound because it hits its target and it looks like it's gone. It still reverberates in that area. Ooh, 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 ooh. And I'll tell you that it actually continues to resound in our surrounding atmosphere, which we call the other world. It doesn't go away just because our human ears don't hear it anymore. Vibration doesn't go away. We can change it. but it doesn't go away. So where there's been really big wars, the vibration of those wars are still there. The thoughts, the sounding of the boom, 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 people moving with anger and determination to cause harm. Bombs, guns, shouting. It doesn't go away like that. It's still there. And you could be living far away from where it happened, and it still will affect you. What do we do about this? We help ourselves to create sounds that overpower the sounds of hate and war and violence and destruction. We help ourselves to remember the sounds that the ocean actually makes where there's harmony there, and in the forests and in the deserts. We forget that deserts make sound. The wind blows the sand. There's sound everywhere. So what I'm saying is that we have to make this place inside of us silent. Because silence still has a sound. When you're silent and you're meditating, you are still creating sound. Your mind is still working. It's not like it isn't. It is. But now it's creating sound waves that actually have harmony in them. They have love in them. They are empowered and they can actually overcome anger. They can actually penetrate old sounds of war and change those places. Moments of quiet, of prayer. You see somebody on the side of the street and maybe somebody drives by and they go, ugh, another person on the side of the street. Somebody else comes by and sees that person and thinks, let me send them love. It makes a difference. It makes a difference. This is the true essence of friendship. It is a sacred relationship within ourselves, with one another, with animals, birds, crocodiles, worlds that we don't see with our eyes, worlds that we don't hear with our ears, but those worlds are all entwined around us. Sound is really, really important to become aware of. The sound of our mind, the thoughts that we think, the emotions that we have. Sound. So mindfulness has a lot to do with sound. To be mindful of the sounds that emanate from you all around you. To help to alleviate the suffering of others. So when we're finished, like with our practice, you'll hear me say that, we offer all that we have done through our meditation practice to help to alleviate the suffering of all sentient beings. And that means that we're aware that there's a purpose to what we're doing, that what we're doing doesn't stay with us. In other words, it's not just for us. It stays with us, but it moves from us. We are affected by it, but it goes out to others, particularly when you actually ask that it helps to alleviate the suffering of all sentient beings. Trees are sentient. Cactuses are sentient. We all are. Our planet is sentient. It's alive. It's a living being because our universe is a living being. But we learned about it by names. well, this is the name of this galaxy, and this is the name of this planet, and this is the name of this chemical that is the part of this planet, and this is this, and this is that. Lovely, really lovely. We have to teach ourselves what is there beside the name. I'm Jacqueline. What do you know about me? In the sense of me, my feelings, my vibration. You, your name. We recognize you by your name, but who you are is your vibration. Your name has a vibration. Every written word has a vibration. Everything that you put down on paper has a vibration. It does. Everything that you say, everything you write, everything that you paint, everything has a vibration. That's why when you go into a museum and you're looking at the paintings, you feel a vibration. Color has a vibration. Light has a vibration. It is a vibration. Light is vibration. Every sound that we have produces a color. Every color in the universe vibrates, has a sound. So when somebody's playing the piano, there are colors that emanate from those sounds. Just because our eyes don't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Just because you don't see my vibrations, Jacqueline, doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. I have an aura, I have colors, and those colors represents the sounds of my mind. That's what an aura is. You're emanating sound waves all the time, and sound waves produce color waves, and color waves produce sound waves. So the condition of our aura, the energy that we emanate, does have color, absolutely. Who cares if we believe it or not? It emanates color because it's a sound. When I was really, really young, when I was a child and we would go to church, and I loved listening to the choirs, but there would be this gold light that would go across the choir, and it would be jagged, not jagged in an unpleasant way, but it had like spikes because it would move. As the people were singing, there would be different amounts of light that would emanate from them. And wouldn't go away. It would stay there because they were in harmony. So it was one big, the choir had an aura. The protests and the protesters have an aura. Armies have an aura. They're made up of individuals. We have an individual aura. When you stand with others, you have a group aura. The sound that you make collectively produces color. Color produces sound. There is no difference. If we walked through a forest and we prayed for the trees and for the ground and for the earth, it would make a difference. Wherever you stand, your vibrations enter into the earth, and anybody who walks in the same footsteps that you have are also feeling that energy. Like I told you, armies make energy. Boom, 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 boom. Mm-hmm. You may like that, you may not like that. It's still an energy. And those things don't go away. We build on them. I say it to you this way because mindfulness, we hear this word, but it's important to feel it. What does it mean to be mindful? It really comes down to self-control, basically. As we control our breathing, we control the thoughts that move through our mind. Because breath and the mind are always intertwined. So if we teach ourselves to become aware by being quiet, by being quiet, when we're quiet, we can start to hear the vibrations that are moving in our mind on our own without us even thinking, consciously thinking thoughts. When we sit down to be quiet, the mind doesn't get quiet. You know that. Who doesn't know that? Everybody knows that. This is why people don't want to meditate. It's so unpleasant to hear the chaos that's running through the mind. It's so unpleasant. That's why so many people say, well, I can't meditate. My mind goes so fast. Welcome to the human race. Everyone's mind runs so fast that you don't even know what's running through it. So you sit down to be quiet and it still goes on its own. And it may be the first time that you really discover that sound moves. It doesn't stop just because you're not speaking. I'm speaking, but the minute I stop, my mind is still producing vibration. I could be sitting here perfectly still looking at you, and it's still producing vibration. It's still affecting my environment. And because I'm looking at you, it affects you, and you affect me. So now we're affecting each other's environments. It doesn't go away, but we can change things by being aware first. It's the awareness of the sounds, of the vibrations that we're emanating. To be able to sit and be quiet and endure the chaos, the sound of bum, 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 boom, 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 boom. So darn unpleasant. So you want to just get up. You're like, oh, is it 10 minutes yet? Why do people meditate? This is awful. Oh, good Lord. So do a mantra, say a prayer, chant. Help yourself to be thoughtful, to realize in that moment you can't control. In that moment, you're going to have moments when you just can't control it because you're just irritated or whatever it may be. So you help yourself by producing sounds that will quiet that cacophony of chaos in the mind. Help yourself. You can chant whatever you like to chant. You can chant Shanti, 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 which means peace, peace, peace. Right? We can all say peace, peace, peace. Doing it in 3 times because it creates a rhythm. When you have a rhythm, you can listen to it more easily, like music, right? Music has a rhythm to it. Bum, bum, bum. It has, has a rhythm. When you're learning to play an instrument, there's a rhythm. You count it, right? Chanting has a rhythm to it. And that rhythm has a way of overtaking the negative thought. Chanting something as simple as, God is love, I am love. God is love, I am love. Well, I don't believe in God. God is love, I am love. I don't believe in God. God is love, I am love. There is no difference. Do you believe in yourself? God is love, I am love. There is no difference. If this word represents omnipresence, it means in every cell, in everything in this entire universe. Way too big for us to decide if we believe or not. Who cares if we believe or not? There's this magnificent living universe that we are a part of. Hello, God. There's nothing to argue about. Nothing to argue about. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Have faith in yourself. You exist. Go look in the mirror. There you are. What's looking back? Oh, you are. You exist. Listen to your voice. Listen to your thoughts. Listen to your heart. Don't be afraid to feel what other people are feeling. I do it for a living. I do it so much. Oh my God, it's not going to go away. No, it'll never go away. Thank the goddess. When I say I'm happy to feel other people's sadness, it doesn't mean I'm happy they're sad. It means I'd rather be able to do that than not. Listening to people in an intuitive way is listening to music. Sometimes it makes me emotional. Sometimes it makes me laugh. It always has an effect on me. We all change like the ocean, you know? Sometimes it's gray, sometimes it's vivid blue, sometimes it's green blue. Sometimes it has big waves, little waves. All sound is like that. When you practice listening to your own self, it's easier to listen to what other people are saying. You learn how to let it move through you. So you don't just catch a phrase that they said that irritated you. They're still talking, but you can't hear a word they're saying anymore because you're on that one phrase. And then after they leave the room, you still have that one phrase running through your mind. Tomorrow, same phrase. Next week, in fact, now you're telling other people about that one phrase. Now they're listening to it. But the rest of the song, the conversation, the rest of the song is lost. Just that one little line. That's vibration, the power of sound, the power of thought, the power of quiet. Meditating on the word friendship. It's sacred. It's sacred. It's why right now we don't have like friends with other countries. We don't have friends with one another. We let our eyes look at people and decide what they're like. Oh, they're a different color than I am. Oh yeah, that's not good. Mm-mm. No, 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 I'm walking away. Holy cow. So all these sounds that we're hearing is affecting our eyesight. Because you've heard so many bad things about people who look different than us, or them, or whoever it may be. This is African American Month, Black History. It is a time where people don't want to talk about it. Shh. No. Talk about it. Talk about it. Talk about the good. Talk about the bad. Talk about the power to overcome. But don't let it be forgotten. Be empowered. Send it love. I say it, the idea. And all the people who've been so harmed because they have dark skin. Skin, of all things, skin. Not ideas, not actions, skin. Not enough to hate. It's not a reason for anything. I think it's a reason for beauty. So I'm saying this to remember where we've been, where we are, and where we're going. Remember love. My teacher's most famous saying is, love all, serve all. And one time my sister had a bumper sticker said, love all, serve all. And this man, who was actually from India, he says, oh, yeah, I love everybody. I'm not going to serve everybody. Because we decide, yeah, well, I love everybody. Yeah, 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 yeah. But they don't work hard enough. They're not good enough. Did you hear what their kind did? I'm not helping them. Oh, there's these people that are hungry over there. Well, their government is terrible, so we're not helping. Sounds. These are the sounds we're making. These are the sounds of greed. These are the sounds of greed. These are the sounds of hate. They're the sounds of jealousy. Oh, I don't want these people to be ahead of me. What would that make me? Remember, we've had jealousy before as a word of the month as a saboteur, because it is a saboteur. And when jealousy gets a hold of any individual, which it is a seed, and it's alive and well in every single person on this planet, jealousy is. And if we water it and we fertilize it, it will become a giant plant inside of us and it will make us steal. And one of the best ways to steal from another person, best ways in the sense that you could do a lot of harm with little effort, is to gossip or to speak ill of one person, an entire family, an entire race. When we speak like this about other people, that they don't deserve, that's actually greedy jealousy. I'm taking all of those opportunities away from those people, and I'm going to hoard them for myself. Jealousy causes all stealing on the planet, all stealing, not just walking into a market and stealing this, stealing opportunities, telling people that they're bad, that they should have shame, they don't have to show their face. The way that they worship is terrible, shameful. We need to get rid of that. I'm sorry to speak like this today, but I think it's really important to speak about vibration and the effect that it has on every person on the planet. And every person on the planet has effect on one another and on the animals and on the trees and on the oceans and our waterways and the quality of our air. Everything is affected by vibration. And when we feel helpless and we're like, it's all too big, it's overwhelming, I can't do anything. Yes, you can. You can sit in your home and you can start to think about peace. Think about peace. Write it down. Write the word peace. Write it down. Write it down. Walk through your house where every footstep that you put it down says peace, 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 peace. When you go to the market, think to yourself, peace for all these people that are here. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. We can change the vibration so that it's musical, so that there's a sound of peace that begins to vibrate once again. Yes, we can. Whether you can go out and join others or you can't, I'm not really like in a physical place right now to go out and do other things. But it doesn't stop me for having prayer for peace. Because I know it's true because it's transformed me. I'm an individual. And if it transforms one person, my own self, it gives me the knowledge that it can move through me and contribute to the transformation of others. If I transform myself into, it will move through me and it will transform others to be like this too. Yes, it will. If it goes one way, it goes the other way. So don't think of yourself as helpless. Let us honor Black History Month in the most respectful way that we can. Sending out peace for all those who've been harmed, for all those that are currently being harmed, and for those that will continue to be harmed in the future. Let us stop thinking of ourselves as helpless. Self-awareness, spirituality is not just like to help yourself. It's for you to remember that by helping yourself, you automatically are helping others because you become aware that everything that you're thinking and feeling and doing moves through you and affects your environment. It does. It does. We don't have to hate. No. It's a choice. Hate is a choice. People make it because they're afraid. They're afraid they're not going to be as powerful as they want to be. They're afraid other people are going to be more powerful than them. Don't be afraid. You have love. When you focus on love, you know it's a power. It's a force. It will always overcome. Always. Always choose love. Celebrate this month of love. It's also Valentine's. It's the month of love. It's the month where in nature it starts to get ready for spring. Things start to move underneath the ground in February. You know, things start to change so that by the first day of spring in March, we see it. But before we see it, it's already starting to move underneath. This is the month of love. So practice love. Be aware of love, the power of love. It's the perfect time to celebrate what love means, what united means in the word United States. Celebrate the word united, which is diversity. You cannot have diversity if you all are vanilla. I love ice cream, chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, pistachio. I do. I love ice cream. It doesn't love me. That's a good thing. So I say this to you because we want to have unity, and unity requires diversity. We need to all come to the table at the same time. All of us have to represent all the different parts of us, all the different vibrations of us, all the different forms of us, all the shades of colors that we are, all the different ways to think about God and the goddess and nature and all of this. We need all of us in our diversity, in our singleness to come to the table of peace, or there won't be any peace. We are blessed to have the word united in our name because we have to live up to it. We have to live up to it as individuals. Come together as individuals, unique individuals, where we can celebrate each other and go, wow, look how you look today. You look great. You are great. I think it's time to bring back a celebration of humanness. Human beings, I don't know what happened, but somewhere along the way, we decided that we don't need to celebrate humanity, just celebrate egos. It's not the same thing. It's time to celebrate that we are human beings and that we're aware about other life forms. We're aware of one another as human beings, and we're going to be dedicated to helping human beings to take care of one another. And as we do that, it helps us to take care of the animals, the oceans, the rivers, our water, all things, all things. When we're like this and we're all divided, we start fighting over resources and who has the right to pollute the air and who doesn't. Who has the right to the water and who doesn't? Everybody does. That's unity. That's unity. Consider after you do your prayers or your meditation to offer it out to help to alleviate the suffering of all sentient beings, all of us, all of us. And let us be aware of those who have been harmed in groups by crazy jealousy that's created hatred of the color of a person's skin. I mean, come on. We can do better than that. Friendship. Friendship. It's sacred. Friendship with humans. Friendship with countries. Friendship with animals. Friendship with the air and the water. Friendship. It's a sacred, sacred word. So that's why we're going to concentrate on it for the whole year, because it comes in such a wide variety. I hope that this month you really work on the friendship with yourself, that you invite yourself to come to the table of peace. You invite you to come to the table of peace and present your case for peace in the world. Present your prayers, present your chants, present your mantras to the universe at the table of peace this month. Present them to the Divine Mother. Present them. Here I come, Mother. I'm at the table of peace. This is how I see it. Love, love, love. Present that. Put it out. In the month of love, let us love like we've never loved before. We've certainly never needed to do it more than we need to do it right now. We are on the brink of whatever it is that we put out. It could tip it really bad, or it could tip it really, really good. You know where I'm leaning. I'd much rather tip it toward the good, because who doesn't like to smile at the table of peace? Eventually, we won't even need a table of peace, because we will be peaceful, full of peace. That's the aspiration. So over this next month, of course, our virtue is love. Remember, our theme is friendship, but our virtue is love. Find your own way to feel love. When someone's speaking to you and you're thinking, oh my God, catch yourself and go, oh my God, I get to listen. I get to be present in this moment and hear a new story. I get to feel their song. I get to see them in a way that I haven't seen them before. It becomes part of you. It creates a mixture inside of you. really. Intuition is love. Love is intuition because love is not, it's not something that is a logical, analytical kind of thing. It's something you feel. It's feeling. You you listening to another person deeply. That's love. You pray, you chant. That's love. That's intuition. You sense the power of love through prayer, through chanting, through mantras, through self-control, through mindfulness, through your practice. This love. In the month of love, saboteur of love, what do you think it might be? There's a lot of things it could be. It's every saboteur that we've ever had and we haven't had is the saboteur of love. But for us, making it mindlessness, mindlessness, where we just don't even care what we're thinking about. We have no self-control whatsoever. We're just like just saying whatever comes into our mouth, just putting into the universe just with our little thumbs. That's mindlessness. We want self-control so that we can feel love, emanate love, and be love. I tell you, being confined like this, like I have been, has really taught me a lot of different things about how people in the world are confined by other people's thoughts. Just makes me aware of it. Makes me aware of how we break one another, how we confine one another by our words. Let us be mindful with love, not mindless. Self-control. So I'll be out there doing it, and I hope that you are too. And we'll feel one another. We'll cross paths in the ethers, whether we know it or not, but we will because we've spoken together and it's created our own unity of love because we're all in different places right now. So I send you my love. And together today, we offer all that we have done together out to help to alleviate the suffering of all sentient beings. Let there be peace, peace, peace. And we'll just put a little bow on our package today by doing 3 ohms together from our heart. Om. 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 May peace move through us. Peace, peace, peace.